What is happening, ladies and gents? Bosh, done for the day. It literally, like, what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes into session. Happy days, lovely stuff. Took this nice little one-to-one short on the Nasdaq. As you can see, quick P&L. Up $500 on the day. This is an Express account, and this is the first trade I taken. I passed this account last week, and this is the first. Where's my little calendar? Down here. As you can see, this is the first trade I've taken. Nice little 1%, little one-to-one risk reward. Yeah, it took me about 5 minutes to make this bread, and happy days. Fuck knows why I'm so orange. I need to sort this camera out. The colouring settings are absolutely fucked. But yeah, we are chilling. So let me break down this trade and how I managed to catch this short so early into open and be done for the day so early into the market. So this is my first trade of the week. As you can see, the market's been, again, I don't actually trade that often. I trade every day, but I don't actually take trades unless we get a clean setup. I'm very patient and disciplined with that. And yeah, this has been the first clean trade of the week. Let me actually remove my drawings and we'll come back to that now. Let's have a look what I was looking coming into the market. It's a very simple bias. So going to the daily quickly, as you can see, structurally, we're extremely bullish overall. The draw on liquidity is higher. As you can see, we have obviously this is the old contract. You can't see the price too clearly. We have a prolonged uptrend. Price is manipulated. V-shaped recovery out of an old swing low. Lovely and textbook structural manipulation before the expansion higher. We have clearly built up a massive liquidity pool. We just got all these stacked highs. This is the overall draw on liquidity. And what has happened since then? We had a push to the downside. I didn't really liquidate that much, I'll be honest. It's not like I'd have loved to see this low come from a key area. But what's happened since then? We've expanded from this daily fair value gap and new week opening gap. And we have made a new internal high. And then a small retracement. Another new internal high. And if we go to the 4 hour, you can see that price is struggling. Price is indeed struggling. Why is that? So what's happening here? Still not bullish trend. Price manipulated, minor into our daily fair value gap, and has expanded higher. Since expanding higher, we've had very little follow through. Price has pushed higher and spent very little time above this high. Yet we still managed to produce a new high, also with very little follow through. Actually didn't even close this time. Spent very little time above this high. Then we had CPI yesterday, which stabbed the external high again with zero follow through. We have now 3 breaks with no follow through. The bulls are definitely struggling. And then we also then look at the ES. We look at ES, and ES has run all-time highs. Also with very little follow through, a much more significant liquidity pool. So I'm starting to think, okay, we're struggling here. We're really struggling to come higher. Then on the day, so today coming into the market, note how this 4 hour fair value gap was supporting price. Price manipulated, we see it clear on the lower time frames, into this gap, failed to create higher, broke lower, and inverted this 4 hour gap. So now price has shown very little intention above these internal highs. We have an external SMT with ES at all-time highs. We have very little follow through. Price has pushed into a bullish key area, failed to create higher, broke lower, inverting the bullish key area, showing disrespect. So coming into the market, it was quite clear to me that this low has failed to fulfill greater bullish expectation or order flow and will become liquidity. And this also is a very inducing move, which is, I understand this is actually the data low, but this is the actual structure low of the push, in which we have this big news candle, which is obviously an inducing candle that will generate a lot of liquidity. Happy days. No, sorry, this was actually Monday open candle. Where was NFP? NFP was down here. So yeah, we have a very inducing candle. This is a structural move. We failed to essentially expand higher. I'm bearish. Now on the mid time frames, we're on the hourly now. So here is our mitigation of our 4 hour zone. failed to create higher, we actually manipulate again, failed to create higher, big fat break. This big fat break left behind hourly displacement, which was looking to be my continuation level to continuous lower to my draw on liquidity. Very, very simple stuff. Coming into the market, what am I looking at? So let me actually wheel it back on market open, because market open was a bit mental. What am I doing? It's just not market open at all. So market open, fucking hell, what am I doing? We'll put it back to here. Let's sack this off. So yeah, I kind of had two kind of manifestations of how I wanted price to deliver to our draw on liquidity. One, we stacked a lot of liquidity up here. Yes, now this is one thing. I reckon a lot of traders with not that much experience could have got caught on the wrong side of the market today trying to long. The reason being, obviously, yeah, this is triple highs, a lovely liquidity pool, but we're overall bearish. Direction becomes first, and I have a rule in my forex trading, which is never predict the retracement. Just because we left behind liquidity does not mean we need to take it straight away. By all means, trade away from the liquidity. If we were to manipulate, yes, take your short. But don't just buy because, oh, there's liquidity higher. Price does not need to take your liquidity straight away. Be patient. Don't predict. Don't assume. So yeah, we left that liquidity. I was thinking, okay, if we have an impulsive market open, we could well manipulate this high before coming to the downside. But the more likely, and especially looking at ES, ES did not have that liquidity pool. ES showed clear bearish intention. We had this hourly fair value gap, and I was looking for some short away from here down towards these lows that I marked out on the higher time frame. Now let's drop to the 5 minute. Let's have a look at our kind of schematic. So we have a minor continuation break of structure here. That's new lower low. That left behind a lower high that ended up getting manipulated as a liquidity point. Price then pre-market accumulated around this area. We got a manipulation of that. We got an SMT. As you can see, ES did not manipulate this high, whereas the Nasdaq did, showing a bit of bearish intention. And we were looking for the market to continue to the downside. Run this low and run this low. Yeah. Market opens. Very volatile market open. So we have this 5 minute fair value gap and the market open. So pre-market we spike up to this area, stack a bunch of liquidity. We have 1, 2, 3 highs all below this 5 minute fair value gap. Market open, then it impulsively expands to the downside. You get some nice momentum to the downside, running this low. At this point, I want to see a manipulation to catch the continuation down to straw on liquidity. I'm just looking for price to come back up and manipulate something. So I have two key areas. I still understand that we've now broke external structure. We could well have an external manipulation, run this high before coming lower. But also I've got this key area marked, this 5 minute fair value gap and accumulation of liquidity that could act as a key area for price to come to the downside. Play price on a little bit more, we get a very impulsive push higher that manipulates this high. At this point I'm open to both scenarios still. I understand that price could reverse from here or here, but they're generally my two bear scenarios here. ES is pretty aligned. We didn't run that high, we just ran this high. So we're in my bearish key area, 5 minute fair value gap, a big accumulation of liquidity, but we just get some lovely volume out. Price has clear intention to the downside. And then where is our fair value gap? Where's our opposing fair value gap? We have this big fat 1 minute fair value gap. We just got lovely volume out of this key area, showing that sellers are getting involved at our key area, which is aligned with our overall bearish bias. I'm looking at this fair value gap. If this gets inversed, that's clear bearish intent, and I believe we will now deliver to my draw on liquidity, which is that low I marked out previously. Even better than just getting a flat out inversion, we range a little bit, forming what? A bearish fair value gap. in which price retraces into before giving that inversion candle. I actually almost missed this trade because I didn't think that candle inverted. I actually got a bit of a late entry. But so we actually get the inversion, so we have a pop up into our bearish key area, bang, push to the downside. Happy days. So I enter the short. Initially, my stop loss was going to be this sweep, but this we opened up a bearish fair value gap. This fair value gap should support price to the downside. I do not want to see price invert this fair value gap. Therefore, I put my stop loss just below the wick of the high of this fair value gap. So this is my entry, this is my stop loss, and my take profit was down at these lows for a 1-to-1. My break even point being this low here. Play price on. Can I do this little trade thing or not? Yeah, gosh, so let me just, oh shit, that's a buy. Sell. So my trade looked like this. I was not risking that much at all. So if I pay price, we get a lovely high volume candle to the downside. I then move my stop to break even, and then price delivers to our drawn liquidity as expected for a lovely little 1-to-1 risk reward trade. Protected stop loss, nice key area, lovely delivery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 candles, 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. So like just under 5 minutes I was in that trade. I actually got filled slightly lower because I almost missed that inversion. I think I was like down here. But yeah, I made just over a 1-to-1. As you can see on my Topstep, risk $500, made 513. Lovely stuff, lovely start to the account, happy days. Let's keep moving forward, building that buffer, and let's stack some payouts. The goal is, obviously this is my first futures account, I'm going to stack some payouts here, ideally, and then use that just to scale. Alpha futures next, 300Ks once I prove the concept. Obviously I'm not going to make any crazy money on this 150k, but I can make a nice little chunk and I can use that to pay for my other accounts. That will then make me a lot of money. So lovely stuff, lovely trade, lovely start to the account. Nice to be done so early into the session. I'm going to go do some work. All the best, and I hope you had a good trading day. Nice one.